Welcome everyone to just a great Fastway song. I forgot about this and really haven't listened to their first album in a while, so I want to thank Wizard of Paz, or Pose, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He had a suggestion for it and it was like, yeah, I remember that was a good song. So I don't know if everyone knows, but I don't necessarily do requests. It really becomes hard, it becomes work, and at least for me and the way I feel, to get things out. So suggestions are fine, you know, if I like the song or it's, you know, something I want to learn, I will do that. No, you know, it's just, it works best for me. So with that said, thank you, Wizard. Here we are, a great Fast Eddie Clarke song off the first Fastway. So we'll get into this. There's a couple nuances to it that I want to make you aware of and how Eddie plays this. It's very well executed. It really came together quite easy for me. It's just a lot of licks I recognized or could pull out. His lead is great. It's all in E minor pentatonic, but he adds a little bit of the major scale here and there. And anyhow, we'll get into the lesson next. So the song kicks off with two measures in the intro of this. Okay, so the key to this lick is the first hammer-on the 5th string from 5 to 7 while hitting the open 6th string. So it's kind of... Alright, so you're going to do that, then you're going to hit the open 6th string in 7 again. Then you go into this, 5 hammered onto 7 on the 5th string, and then hit the 5th string on the 5th fret of the 4th string to the 4th fret. And then you wind up on the 5th fret of the 5th string with a little bit of vibrato there. So to start it, this is the first half of the intro measure, and it does go out throughout the song, the verses and stuff, until they do a change up. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're going to repeat that 5 hammered onto 7 on the 5th string and hitting 7, and then our hammer onto 5, 7 on the 5th string. Then we'll come to 5 on the 4th string and right to a D chord. So we'll have this. Okay, that is, both of those together are the first measure of the intro. Okay, so let's do these two halves of the measures together. We'll do them twice. This will be the intro, and you'll see the difference as I play it with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the difference at the end of the intro, if you will, he just goes up to the about the 14th fret and slides down and starts the lick again, which becomes the verse. It's the only time you do the slide down. So the verse, the first two measures are just like that intro. To a little B shuffle, and it is a shuffle, so I want to teach you this so you can play it correctly, or at least make it sound correctly, okay? Okay, so for this B shuffle, we're going to be stretching our pinky to the 6th fret, okay? So we'll be playing a B power chord, 5th string, 2nd fret, 4th string, 4th fret, and then stretching our pinky up to the 4th string at the 6th fret. All right. So the key is hitting it the first time, and then a down up that's fairly muted. Then you're going to hit the 6 in 2nd fret of the 5th and 4th string, and then 2 back to the 4, it's one of those things, it's almost harder to show slow than it is to do it at speed. But once you get that down, or the feel for it, you'll be able to, you know, and again, even if it's the whole thing is palm muted, you're emphasizing that first strike. Okay, they'll go through that 7 times, and then they'll come into a G power chord, so we're not chord. So we're just muting that 5th string, and then to an A. Okay, so that, I call it a tag. We'll do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back into the... Alright, second verse, I'll do that again, 2 measures worth, another tag at the B. Alright, we'll go through that. The difference is the second time through this tag, when we hit our G to A power chords, what we do is the timing will shift, and I'm going to go over that next. Okay, so after our G, A power chord, you'll hear a timing shift, okay? So the way he goes into this and the way it'll sound will be this. Alright, so what he's doing is our hammer on from 7 to 5. Again, that's critical to this little nuance of the song, but we're hitting that open 6. It's really important, after you hit the 5, 7, we're going to kind of hit that open 6 string with the 7 twice. Alright, so we've got the strike, 1 time down, and then 2 more. And then we're going to do some chorded versions. We're going to be on the 4th string at 7, the 5th string at 9. And then we're just going to move that up a half step to 10 on the 5th string and a full step to 9 on the 4th string. Okay, but what he does is let that E string ring during the first chord and before he kind of palm mutes the verse. So you have this. So it's a little busy, but that's the idea. We're sucking into this time chain. Then when he starts singing, all this extraneous 6th ringing out gets palm muted. And you can let those chords ring out a little bit more than palm muting, but again, we're keeping that 6 at bay because we're emphasizing the vocals. Okay, what a great, just a great shuffle pattern, just like the B. It's really well done. And the next part of this, I found the more you relax your hand and don't stress about it, the easier these notes will come. Because I was playing it with some tension and having a hard time with my fingers. But once I relaxed, I found it come pretty easy. So we'll go over that next. Alright, so I'll do a couple of the shift, if you will, patterns, and then I'll come into the second measure of it. So again, as I've written out, the first time we shift, there's 8 of those before the vocals come in. Then they do 4 with it muted, and then we're into this part. So it's basically octaves on the 2nd fret of the 6th string to the 4th fret of the 4th string. And it's 2 notes each, so make sure you get 2 notes. And it's not slow. I mean, it's... he's bouncing between those strings. Once you come in with the 2nd set on the 4th string, you'll have this. Okay, so coming off that 4th octave twice, and then we're going to the 2nd fret of the 5th string to the 4th fret, and then we go to the 2, 4, 2 on the 4th string, and then back to 4, 2, 4 on the 5th string. So we have this. It's just kind of a back and forth. Then back to the 5th string, 2, 4, 2, and then we have 4 on the 5th string. So I'm going to take it all the way up to this point, because after that's an A power chord. Alright, so let's do the octaves at a slow tempo into this lick so you can see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. After that A power chord, we're going to hit 2 more A power chords to a B and C power chord. And then a pick scrape. So take your pick and ruin the top of it and scrape up the strings. Okay, so I'm going to come in from the little shift, the second 2 halves of it, and then into the octave at a medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so you got the little shift pattern down. At this point, we're coming back in with it. Alright, he's singing the chorus. This is really strange, trying to figure out what's chorus and what verse, but when he's singing We Become One, at this point, with this shift pattern, this is where he does it, and then we're back, so he'll do that 4 times. Back into the verse, and it's a little more palm muted. They'll go through it another 4 times. And then into our F sharp octave lick. Then we're going to hear a pick scrape again, and we're into the solo. Now the solo rhythm is just like when they do the shift. We're going to do the shift 8 times, or that shift pattern. So that whole pattern goes 8 times before we go into the F sharp, but it's all part of the solo, okay? So the last 2. Okay, at that point we're out of the solo. Okay, so after we're done with the solo, you'll hear a pick, scrape, and then we go into that shift pattern 4 counts before another verse starts. This will be the 5th verse with a little bit of palm muting. And again, that is 4 counts. Then our octave lick. Right at that point, again, this is after verse 5, the shift and solo, you'll hear the drum. That's going to signal a change back to the initial intro verse lick. So you'll hear the drum come in, and then you're back to So for that, there'll be 2 measures of it, which I'm calling this chorus because he's singing about we become one. All right, so 2 measures. Go on again for 1 measure. Now we're going to start verse 6. This is the outro verse, if you will. Okay, we're going to do this 1 more measure. And then the last measure will be a little different because it's taking us out, and it'll sound like this. Alright, so again, I abbreviated that, and I'll show it to you. I know it was off camera, but verse 6, the first measure, we do it normal. The second time through, we do the first half normal. The second time, we're going to stop on the 5 on the 4th string. And then we're going to go to G power chord to A, and we'll do that 3 times. And then the last one is a G power chord again, but we're going to just go, I call it Allegro. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's brisk tempo. And I believe it's 8 counts, and then we move up to an E. So the E is the same way. And what I like to do, and it sounds good during this, is play what I call the big E, open 6th string, 7 on the 5th, 4th and 3rd string at 9, and then open 2 and open 1. After an 8 count, you'll go into the very outro, which even then he does a few licks that I'll show you. So we're doing our big E for 8 counts. And then what you'll hear him do is ride on the open 6th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's an up, down each one. Alright, so it's, again, it's fast. And then you'll hear the 14th fret of the 4th and 3rd string to 12, so A to G. He'll do that 6 times. I'm not going to go through all 6, but you get it. After the 6th time, it'll sound like this. Okay, so what he does is the same 4 count, 1 E, or 12, 14. Then we're going to hit the 6 once, back to 12, 14 on the 4th and 3rd string. So we have this. And he's going to hit that 6th string again, muted, and then 14 to 12, but on the 5th and 4th string. So it'd be an E to a, what's before E? D. Then ride that 6th string again, and just end on the E to D. And then it just goes off in the distance, really fading out. But we'll go over the solo next, and you'll have the whole song. Okay, so the solo starts out with this first measure like this. Okay, not too difficult. We're hitting 15 on the 2nd string bent, and then again bent. Then we're going to come to 12 on the 1st string unbent to 15, bending it up twice on the 2nd string. Back to 12, and then 15, 12, 15, 12. Then we go to 14 on the 3rd string, back to 12 on the 1st, to 14 on the 3rd, and 12 ending on the 3rd. Let's just start from the beginning because it just confuses me. Okay, then from there we can do a little Chuck Berry thing. We're going to hit 14 on the 3rd string bent up to 12 on the 2nd and 12 on the 1st, and we'll do that 4 times. Then we catch 15 bent twice, then 15 to 12 unbent. Okay, so we have this. Then the next measure will sound like this. Okay, so, alright, so what we're doing here, we'll start out Chuck Berry style, 14 on the 3rd string bent up to 12 on the 2nd and 12 on the 1st, then back to the 2nd string, 15, 12. Then we're going to go to the 3rd string, 14, 12, 11, 12, 14. Back to 12, 11, and the 12, 11 again, to 14 on the 4th string, back to 11 on the 3rd, back to 14, and then we'll go to 12 twice on the 4th string. All right, all together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, at that point we shift positions. This is just before the octave lick kicks in, but what he does is go up to the 3rd position, and we're going to hit the 2nd string at 5 to 3 to open. And we'll do that 4 times. Then we're going to grab 5 with a bend, and then bend again. Then 5 to 3, ending on 4 on the 3rd string. Alright, so we have this. Alright, at that point you want to shift again. Alright, we want to go to the 2nd position. We're coming in with the, that part of the solo rhythm. So we want to shift to the 2nd position, and what we're going to do is this. Alright, so what we're doing there is on the 4th string, bent up, catching the 1st string at 2 to the 2nd string, 2, 5, 2. Then we're going to come right to the 3rd string, 2, 4, 2. to the 4th string at 4, lay it down, catch 4 on the 3 to 2, catch 4 on the 4th. So what we've got there, it's a little bit of a back and forth lick here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, what we're going to do is hit the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, hammer onto 4, pull back off to 2, and end up on 4 on the 4th. Then just lay your finger down, then we're going to go 4 to 1. And then back to 2 on the 3rd string to 1, and 4 on the 4th. Back to 1 on the 3rd. 4 to 2 on the 4th string, and then end up on the A note when he's hitting an A power chord on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Alright, so all together, the last lick of the solo slowly. You got the whole song. Just a great whammer jammer song. I really hope you guys enjoy, and thanks, Wizard. I appreciate the suggestion. Enjoy.